بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Welcome to my channel, Gates of Jannah, and congratulations to those of you who've been following my videos from the start. You have learnt all the tools required to get a basic understanding of reading Arabic. I bet you didn't even realize you've come this far, and a pat on the back to you because it's not easy, so well done. For those of you who are new to my channel, please do take a look at some of the other videos. You never know where you'll be able to pick up some new skills. Even as advanced readers, we still make mistakes, and it's always good to get reminders. So yeah, do go and have a look at that. So where do we go from here? So far, we have completed the beginner's guide, which would be like the Qaida, and that will have given us some basic rules, all the different symbols, understanding the letters, how they sound, how we join them. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the Tajweed aspect of learning Arabic. And here we will start learning some more rules, and it will help us to maybe sound a little bit more the way the Quran was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we can make sure that we read exactly how it should be. And for any of you who haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my channel. All you have to do is press the subscribe button and then press the bell notification, so you'll be able to be notified every time I upload a new video. So anyway, well done to those of you who have got this far. Before we do move on, I would like to just give you a recap quickly of all the previous symbols that we've learnt so far, because we're going to need them from now on. So the first one that we have here is going to be the one with the line on top of the actual letters. And here, this is called the Fatha, and the sound for that is A. And the time frame for this is just one sound, A. Moving on to the next symbol, we have the line underneath the alphabet, and this one is called a Kasra, and the sound for that is E. Again, one time frame. Then the third of the individual symbols was Damma, and this is what looks like a party horn, woo, and this Damma has a oo sound. And the way to remember this one is, if you think about blowing that party horn, you would put your lips around that straw part of the horn and you go ooh to blow. So the ooh sound that you make, the actual lip position, is that which should be done for the ooh in the Damma. Then the next was the two fathas, which we call Fathataan. Again, if you have one is a ah, then two is un. So we're adding the n sound. And we have the same going on for the two that go underneath, and this is called Kasrataan, and the sound for that is in. And lastly, the two Dammas, which again is like two party horns. You have a Dammataan, and this is un. Okay, the next set of symbols was the long vowels. So this is a Fatha followed by an Alif, and this time the sound is ah. So remember, one Fatha ah, but with the Alif added, it becomes ah. So it's sort of more of a double count. Then the second of the long vowels is a Kasra followed by a ya, and that is also a long vowel, and the sound for that is e. So one Kasra e, but followed by the ya, e. So giving you a 2 count time frame. And the third of the long vowels is a Damma followed by a wow, and this is a oo sound. So one Damma is oo, whereas when we add the wow, it becomes oo. Then after that, we have the sukoon symbol. So this sukoon can look like this, or it can look like a backward C. You can look at depending on which Quran you have, and this is the join. So the letter that precedes this will be joined to the letter that has the sukoon on top of the second letter, so merging two together. And then the next symbol was the Shadda, and this is the one where you pronounce the letter twice, like a double letter. And then lastly, we looked at the sun and moon letters, where it determines how we say the word al. So if it is a moon letter, then we add a sukoon onto the lam and we actually say al. Whereas if it's a sun letter, then we don't pronounce that lam and we move straight to the next letter. So for example, shams would be ash instead of al shams. If you want to be reminded of all of these, what I can do is I'll put a link to each of the videos for each of these different symbols in the description below. So go and have a look at the description below to link to any of the videos that remind you for any of these symbols. Okay, and have a look at these. Just make sure that you're familiar with all of them. If you like the videos so far, please do give me a thumbs up. All you have to do is click on the thumb and it will really help me out a lot. That'd be great. Thank you. Okay, so where do we go from here? I want to give you one really important tool that you need to understand before we really start reading the Quran, and that is the word isti'adha. What is isti'adha? It is when we say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, which means I seek refuge with Allah from shaitan, the Satan, the outcast, which is the cursed one. And so we say this because we have been commanded to do so in the Quran. If you go to Surah Nahl, which is the Surah of the Bee, Surah number 16, Ayah number 98, we have فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. So whenever you read the Quran, seek refuge with Allah from the Satan, the accursed. So we have been commanded to do that every time we read Quran. Now, the thing about saying A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem is that we will do that anytime, no matter where we pick up the Quran on any page. Whereas when we say the Bismillah, we would normally say that at the start of a surah because it's there. We can also say it when we say the isti'adha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. We can say this, but you don't have to say the basmala, but you do have to say the isti'adha. I'd like you to know how to say this properly. So what I have done is I have split it up into each letter to help you pronounce it. So starting with the first letter, Hamza with the Fatha, the sound is A. Then we have a Damma followed by a vowel on top of the Ain. So we have ooh. Here it's a double time frame. Ooh. So A, ooh. The next letter is Dhu. So Damma on a Dha, Dhu. Ooh, Dhu. So the ooh is a 2 count, Dhu 1 count. And the next letter is Ba with a Kasra, B. So a'udhu bi. But you'll notice that the B should be merging with the lam. Don't make the mistake of saying bil and merging it very quickly, because what happens is that you take some of that B time frame away by merging too quickly, bil. What you should do is make sure you say B first, and then once you've completed the statement of B, you then merge onto the L. B, L. And then after that, we can say the second of the lam, which is where the Shadda indicates the Fatha on that lam. We say la. So we would now have a, u, dhu, bil, la, and then ha with a kasra, he. A'udhu billahi. And don't forget the la here in the word Allah. There is invisible long vowel here. Billah, not billahi, it's billahi. It's not written, but we just have to know it. Next letter is a mim kasra, mi. And then the noon fatha, na. And again, the noon would be merging with the sheen. So we don't say nash very quickly. We have to make sure we say the na first before we move on to the first of the sheens is a sukoon. So nash. And then the second sha with the sheen with the fatha is sha. So we now have a'udhu billahi minash sha, and then we move on to the ya with the sukoon on it to merge those together. Remember, we say the sha first, then the ya. Sha'i. Sha'i. And next letter is ta with a fatha and an alif, long vowel, ta, and it's a heavy letter, so ta. So we have here mi, na, sh, sha, yi, ta. And then the next letter is a noon kasra ni, which we say on its own before we move on to the ra, which is merging, but we have to say the ni clearly before we say the ra. Ni, r, ni, r. And then we can say the second of the two ra's with a, here again this is a heavy letter, ra fatha, ra, ni, r. So the first ra will be a light ra because the kasra before it gives it a light sound, but then the second ra has heavy, so it becomes a heavy ra, and they're both together, so you have to start off light and move on heavy. Ni, ra. And then the next letter is jim kasra g, but we have the ya following, so this is a long vowel g, and don't forget to make it like it's more of a double count than a kasra, which is just on its own e. Here we would be e. And then lastly, it's a meme. Because we are ending here, we add a sukoon, so we just give it the sound of the meme. There's no haraka, there's no movement at eu, it's just and so you make sure you close your lips together to get the sound. So let's start from the beginning. A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. So now say it flowing. A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
So there we have it. I hope you enjoyed that video. Please don't forget to subscribe and please press that thumbs up button for me. That would be great. I'll see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.